Welcome to the Shoe in the Breeze Conversation with the DJ podcast with your host, Eric Lee and Lorenzo Ice-T Thomas.
What's up, Lo? What's going on, brother?
What's up, E. Lee, in the place to be?
Oh, man, I'm glad to be here, brother. I'm glad to be here.
Yes.
And we got a good show for y'all tonight, y'all. It's going to be off the chain. Got a chance to, we got a brother that's going to get on the show and talk about a lot about what happened in the early years of hip-hop. We're talking 50 years of hip-hop. Not to say that he's, been there for every year, because I don't want to blow his cool. We're going to talk about that. But first and foremost, welcome to Shooting the Breeze Conversation with the DJ. I'm yours truly, Eric Lee, and you are.
I be the LIT, the CIT, always on fire. I stay lit without a doubt. Lorenzo Ice-T Thomas in the building. I give myself a round of applause. So, yeah.
Give yourself a round of applause.
I want to give myself a round of applause. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. And if you're checking us out on Facebook, make sure you hit the like button. We want you to do that. And if you're checking us out on YouTube, hit the notification button as well as subscribe. Help the channel out. It does wonders for us.
It surely does, yes.
And we give you an opportunity to get all of this content before everybody else does when you do that. So that's always good. So, Lo.
Yes, sir.
Are you excited about the guest we're about to bring on?
Oh, man, I'm really excited about this one. Not that I wasn't excited about the others, but this one, we'll talk about more of it. But this, as we got prepared for this guest for tonight, it's like, he's been a part of my career before I even started my career. Right. And he's still a part of my career and my daily life. So that's what makes this one special. You know what I mean? Normally, sometimes people in this industry, you kind of like, you go your separate ways and, you don't see them anymore. Right. But, we still together. You know what I'm saying? We still together, baby. All three of us are still together. And that's what makes this one special. So let's get right to it, man, because when we start talking, it goes so fast. Yeah,
This brother is a wealth of knowledge of the music industry. I've known this gentleman for years. Ladies and gentlemen, he was the senior vice president of Def Jam Records. Give it up for my man, Thomas Lytle. My man,
what's good? What's good?
Hold on for a second. Hold on, let me do it right.
Tells you who I am. Def Jam tells you who I am.
Woo!
Def Jam tells you who I am.
Def Jam tells you who you are. Mr. Def Jam.
Yeah, man. What's good, Lorenzo and Eric, man?
What's up? DJ Ebony, what's happening?
Yep. Hey, man, thanks for the invite, man. I'm glad to be on the show. Like you guys said, I've been knowing you guys. I think I've known Lorenzo since the 80s because he was on 103 Jams back when I was the music director at 103 Jams. And when E. Lee, I met when I was a regional at Def Jam in Richmond when he was the music director over at CDX.
Yeah.
So it's amazing how things come full circle, man.
I know, right? You're looking real big over there, man, with all those plaques, man.
You're shining, brother.
You shining.
These are a few pennies, man, in the bank. I'm gonna change out my DMX and put my Rihanna up.
Okay.
I really love the joy with me with Def Jam was to see all of these artists, young, hungry, get signed, man. The gleam in their eye, like, wow, I made it. I'm signed to Def Jam. I'm like, whoa. Nah, you ain't made it. you just starting.
Right.
Yeah. It's about to be hectic, man. So, I would have my talk with them.
Right.
And be like, hey, man, you're going to be doing a lot of stuff. You're going to actually be doing a lot of things. And, you ain't going to get paid. We need promotion out of you,
right,
to get you where you need to be. Some got it, some didn't.
Right.
But it was a hell of a ride. 21 years at one label, and for most record executives, they know that that's a rarity for anyone.
Yeah.
If I had to do it all over again, believe it or not, I would not. I would have left Def Jam, or I would have left Def Jam 10 years earlier. Yeah, man.
Wow.
I missed a lot of checks. Well, I mean, because that's just how the industry works. But I
Mhm.
was committed to building a business that was owned and operated by a black man.
Right.
I always was about that.
Right.
Because I grew up in that era.
Right.
You know, my first career, I worked for, you know, at that time, the largest minority owner of radio stations in America.
Bishop L.E.
That's
Willis.
right.
Mhm.
Young man, Bishop L.E. Willis here.
Bishop L.E. Willis.
Yo, he gave me, man, for some reason, the bishop thought that educated black men up north were just a little bit better than educated black men in the South. That's just how they thought.
Hey.
And when I walked into the building, he was like, young man, you can do anything you want to do in this station. You know, I'm glad to have you here to help another young black man, you know, selling his career. And
Mhm.
Walter Brickhouse, man, ooh, he was the general manager. Everyone was part of the church. It was just, I actually did a TV show about that, man. It was that station was crazy during that time.
I remember.
Well, nah, not the TV show. We need to talk about the Thomas Lytle book.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's
man,
what you need. Come on.
Yeah, but you know what though? It seems like in order for a book to really sell, man, you got to be salacious, and you got to tell stories about, you know, that things that happen. There's a lot of that stuff, man. You don't want to. You don't want to do that, man. I don't want to.
But I mean, you don't got to be salacious, man. I mean, you broke literally billionaires.
There's stories.
Come see. And you know what though, man? It's just
Three
my
of
luck,
them.
man. The every time I was one-on-one or try to get one-on-one with them now,
right?
Something happened, man, and it just didn't work, man. It's just like, yo, especially with Rihanna, man. I'm oof. That's just crazy.
Yeah, but the reason why I mentioned the book, Thomas, because as I was getting prepared for the interview, I was going through some of the books that I have. I have Russell's book. I have Chuck D's book. I have Kevin Lyle's book. And it just said, wait a minute, you know, the only person that's missing is maybe West Party Johnson and Thomas Lytle.
Right.
Yeah, well, you know, Johnny Walker can write a book too.
Oh yeah, Johnny. That's right.
Johnny Walker. Yeah.
Johnny Walker.
Yeah.
Salute Johnny Walker.
Yes.
I mean, Rhonda Cowan. Rhonda Cowan was our director of video promotion, and actually, she was the first one. My very, very, very first working inside the labels was with Rhonda Cowan and Nikki D. Daddy's little girl.
Daddy's little girl.
And, yeah, I had to take them to a BET.
Right.
That was my very first meeting, man. Wow. Yeah, I didn't think about that in decades. Ooh wee.
What did they sample? Was it what song was that they sampled on that? Daddy's little girl.
That was Tom's Cabin.
It was D.
I want to say Tom's Cabin or something like that.
It was Tom's
Diner. Tom's Diner. Yep.
Shout out to Wanda Hayes. She says, "Welcome to the club, Thomas."
Oh yeah, Wanda too, man. Wanda, there are so many behind the scenes people, man, that really made this whole music industry work. I mean, you see the Leora Cohens and the Russell Simmons and the Kevin Lyles, and you know they're okay and fine. I mean, it's great. I'm happy for all of them.
Right.
That made it. But the cats, man, that did the grind. And I came in front with Kevin, like, yo.
He grinded.
He did the grind. You know, he definitely did the grind. It was amazing how what was Kevin's other how he got hired at Def Jam. Kevin, we had another I can see his face. I cannot remember his last name. But he left to go to Twism. To Shaq's
label.
Wow, that's right.
And so we were missing a regional in the Mid-Atlantic.
Right.
And you know, Kevin Lyles was Kevin's intern. And I went to Leo. I said, Leo, man, we need to hire this Kevin Lyles, man. I mean, he's a good kid. We need to hire him. And Leo's like, man, fuck that. We don't need to hire no one. I got Chris Johnson and you in the Mid-Atlantic. That should be enough. I'm like, yo, nah, man, you got to give him an interview, man. You got to give him an interview.
Right.
So he went into the office. This is at 252 Broadway. That's where we had the business office. 298 Elizabeth Street, but they had the promotions department and rush management. So we were in Russell's office, and Kevin was like, yo, what do I need to do? I said, man, you're not gonna get a second chance to make a first impression, dog.
Right.
Like if you want this gig, you gotta wow.
Right.
And he went in there, man, and did his thing, man, with proposals that he wanted to do, entities, everything was on paper. Yeah, I mean, he did work. And when he left, we all looked at me. It's like, yo, how can I not hire this dude?
Hmm.
And he hired him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, the rest is history. And then when I got sick at one time, man, I got double pneumonia, man. The record industry is not a joke, man. What people don't understand is that the record business is 80% business. The
Right.
show that you see, that's only 20% of it.
Mm.
Like take for instance BET Awards. You go on stage, you see all the artists. They on stage. You know how long they had to practice to get
No,
that
Right.
timing and everything, and because they're consummate professionals, they know exactly what to do, how to do it, how to go on, how to go off, and it went on without a hitch. And that's a live show.
Yeah.
Right.
So a lot of those professionals, they don't play around with their craft.
Right.
And I think a lot of young kids today, man, they take this as a joke,
Right.
Man, again, stories, man, that I can't really tell online, but it's just the ones that you
Go
see
ahead,
on
tell what you want to tell.
Nah, man. Nah, well,
Tell what we can. I get it.
Yeah,
So,
it is. I just want to make sure that people who really want to get into this business, man, are you committed to working long hours with little or no pay at
Right.
all,
Right.
and wondering when they're going to recognize you?
well,
Because if you're wondering when you're going to get recognized for your work, you don't need to be doing this, because you may never get recognized.
as you know, one of the reasons why we decided to do the podcast was because there's so many artists out here that we see that are doing big things, great things, shining all over the place. But the folks that were on the back end getting the grind, like we talk about, Kevin, yourself, Wanda Hayes, Bobby Duckett, the folks we've had on the show before, we wanted to highlight people that were in the business on the back end that nobody knew about, because there would be no Rihanna, there would be no Jay-Z or Ye if they didn't have the team behind them like you guys. So we wanted to take the opportunity to give you your roses while you're still here.
Yeah, well, no doubt, man, no doubt. I just celebrated a birthday yesterday, so I won't tell you my age, but I will tell you. Hey, that's my man, my main man.
Look at you.
That became a happy birthday. Yeah. That's the young Lytle right there.
That's the young Lytle.
Yeah, man. It's I don't know. It's crazy, and I owe it all, and I will give props every time I say it to Wes Party Johnson.
Oh, dog, we talked about Wes last week.
Let me tell you something. I know Wanda talked. I know she did. That's my man. That's Wes behind me, for guys who don't know.
Right here in the back, right here behind you.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
This picture was at the 25th anniversary table book signing, and a lot of people should be in here. Definitely, I would say Rhonda Cowan should have been in that picture.
Right.
What's my man in retail? Hershey should have been in that picture. Bobito should have been in that picture.
Yes.
There's so many other people but they just weren't there at that particular time. The guy with the beard, the guy on the left is Leor Cohen, arguably right now the most powerful, probably man in the music business right now.
Right.
That's Rick Rubin with the beard. Of course, that's Russell Simmons. Julie Greenwald. When I started at Def Jam, mind you, when I started at Def Jam, we were working out of Rick Rubin's brownstone on 298 Elizabeth Street, a 5-story brownstone. Rush Artist Management was on the first floor. Def Jam, the promotions, marketing departments were on the second and third floor, and Rick Rubin lived on the 2 floors above that. And Julie was Cheryl Kronisberg assistant to Leor Cohen. Okay. She was the assistant, young, fresh out of, I think she graduated. She either went to Xavier University in New Orleans. Now she is the BMOC or whatever you want to call it at Warner Music Group. She's like the head honcho. Okay. And behind her, of course, is Kevin Liles from Intern to President.
I know, right?
Yeah.
He runs.
Got to get him on the show.
And Shanita Floyd was Kevin's assistant and his right-hand man. And behind Kevin is Michael Kaiser. Yo, man. So many different personalities.
Kaiser's off the chain.
Nuts.
Yeah. Yep.
He was nuts.
But that's what made it work, man. And Def Jam was a real family. That crew really looked out for one another. And let me tell you how gangster the music industry. I'll tell you this.
Hold on. Let's look. You talked about Wes. Did you see the clip of Wanda last week? Did you get a chance to see that?
No, I did not.
Well, we're gonna go back to that because your boy had us all out there. Check this out.
For Wes Johnson, which was the most interesting man on the planet.
Yes, he was.
When he came to Richmond, he rolls up in I don't know how long that limousine was, this white limousine. And it's like, Eric, come on, get in. And when I moved to Florida, he said, I got a restaurant for you. I said, what you talking about? He got me. Oh, Lo, he got me. Shout out to Wes Party. Rest well, Wes. Rest well, because you got me. I was in Orlando. Y'all check this out. People are checking this out. I'm in Orlando. He says, hey, E, come on down to Miami. I got a restaurant. I just opened up a restaurant. I want you to try.
Was it a restaurant? Go ahead.
I'm like, Wes, you the godfather, brother. Because for folks that don't know, Wes was second in command to Russell Simmons at Def Jam.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're talking about, brother that knows his stuff and been and was real good in the business. So I go down there. I said, what's the name of the place? He said, it's called Diamonds. I said, man, that sounds like
oh my goodness.
No. I roll up to the spot.
You had no idea, E?
I had no idea. It was a strip club.
Oh, yes. Diamonds.
No idea. I walked up in there. He was like, what's up, E? I was like, what's up, Wes? And I look around. I said, oh, whoa. He started laughing. He said, and the steak is good.
No.
Oh, yeah.
That's Wes.
That's Wes.
Well, I got to piggyback on that.
Okay.
So when I first, yes. So I was in Washington, D.C., left Washington, D.C., and came down to Miami, right?
Right.
So I'm in Miami on the radio, right? I'm on the radio at this time. I'm doing afternoons, and I'm on the air with DJ Khaled, okay? Driving 5, yes. I'm doing afternoons, and the great DJ Khaled is my DJ in the afternoons. So you can imagine what the energy was like on those microphones at 5 o'clock. We're going crazy, right?
Right.
So you want to talk about hitting the market and hitting the ground running? Wes hits me up just like he hit you and say, hey, come on by Diamonds. But I knew what Diamonds was, right? But this is how he looked out for your boy. He said, yo, you're my boy. When I would walk in the door, Wes would give me a stack. He would give me $1,000 and say, have a good time. Just make sure you spend it all. So therefore, I come into the market. I'm at Diamonds making it rain. Everybody's looking at me like, yo, who is this dude? Wes is like, yo, I got you. So basically, he wanted to make sure that his boy looked big because it's all about perception. Boom, and that money's coming back. That's how he treated me. That was nothing but love.
We're gonna tell our last Wes story. I was Wes's GM. I had to fly down to talk to him about business. I was supposed to be there for 3 days. I spent a week in Miami trying to get Wes to sit down with me so we could go over records. Every night, I ended up at Diamonds.
Now, everyone, this is before it became the King
folks,
of Diamonds. It's
for
the
my
original
church
Diamonds.
folks online, this was my past.
This is her past.
All
of us. This is all of our
my past too. My past.
That's all our past.
I spent so much time in Diamonds trying to talk to Wes. To one day I was in there and I said something about working up in DC. One of the girls said, the lady that was there with her man, she had been there every night. She said, I thought you was the madam. I said, what? She said, well, you just look so comfortable here. I spent a week trying to get Wes to sign some papers. Finally, he signed them. I got on the plane. I left. It was just, it was the most interesting man that I ever worked with.
Oh, I believe it. We've got pictures with Wes, but we were saving them for the episode with Thomas Lytle.
Do that, please.
We were saving it with the episode with Thomas.
Do that.
Wanda said, she said, if I never worked for a label, he says, if I never worked for a label, for Wes was enough. And that's Wes in the corner for the folks that are checking it out. And of course, y'all know who the guy in the middle is. But before we go talk about the guy in the middle, you said the record business was gangster. Talk about that, Tom.
Oh man, it's dog eat dog, man. Basically fueled by at that time drug money. I mean, cats with a load of money needed to launder it. What can I do? Hey, let me try to get my artists up there, and I pay for studio time, get signed, and clean them up. I mean, that's just what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, the white executives that were there, to get whatever they needed to feel good about themselves, they would never go to the hood, but they got Pookie and Ray Ray go to the hood, get what they needed, and they come back, hey man, I got an artist. You want to sign my artist? And that's how it kind of flourished in the early days, in the 70s and 80s when hip hop was trying to build. But it really is, man, a dog eat dog. You gotta always watch your back. You gotta make the right alliances. Once you're inside the building, shit goes left all the damn time. But what you'll find out is 90% of the time it always works out, and the 10% where it doesn't work out, it's you just caught I won't say an L. I just say you just learned something, and you just keep it moving. But it's always hectic, man. It's never ever a dull moment. I remember one time Russell was telling me, man, if I call you at 2 a.m. and you don't answer your phone, you're fired. I'm like,
wow,
yo, man, because it was all the time. And for me, being single, no kids, not married, I was kind of like the fireman. So if anything needed to be done at any time, they knew they could call me because I don't have to do 50 other things to prepare. I can just, throw on a baseball cap and be out the door, whatever they needed. But it was great, man. I mean, when cell phones first came out, I had a cell phone. When the cell phone was in the bag with the big ass Radio Shack bag. And,
Yep.
Had one of those, man. Of course, we had the Sky Pages. We kept abreast of technology. And at one time, I was the only person in the building with a computer. That's how fast forward we were with trying to keep in touch with technology to pull all the BDS reports on a daily basis.
Right.
Which meant I had to get up early enough to do it and then still do my daily. But when you're young, you're hungry.
You don't care.
Yeah, man.
You're ripping Def Jam.
And looking back at it, man, it's like to work at a label in this point in time in history where you didn't have a roadmap on how to market and promote it. You made it up as you went.
Right.
And that's what made the ride crazy. And at one time, we only had 4 regionals at Def Jam: me, Johnny, Rodney Terry, and Rodney Terry was in Atlanta, and we had, I think it was Lisa Coleman
West Coast.
in the West Coast, and at that time I was the senior national director, and that's when they finally gave me a American Express card as a.
Yeah.
And I said,
Yeah.
well, what's my
report.
Yeah.
what's my limit? He says,
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Keep certain things. Okay.
Yeah. We hung out a couple of times on that.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
So-
I think my expense accounted for like, I think about 3 years, man. It was like about $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
we
it was
hung out.
flights.
I mean, hey, man.
Flights, yeah, man. I mean, it wasn't like I was out here, wilding. Like, yo, you spent it on everything that was business related.
Right.
And of course, you had to report everything that you spent. So it wasn't like you just spending, like you got to sit down and do the paperwork too.
Right.
That's why I say, like, people don't see the business end of it. They just see the show. You popping bottles and going to the club and renting cars, and then like, yeah, that's all fine. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
But very little sleep. But I tell you, man, I woke up every day, man. Couldn't wait to get to work, man.
Well, what fond memories do you have of the Mid-Atlantic region in particular? Of course, you worked at Wowie before you went to Def Jam, but being that we all worked in the radio industry in the Mid-Atlantic region, what made that region so special and different?
You know what?
compared to others?
Here's the thing, Lorenzo, with that. I'm glad you said that, man, because a lot of times you really can't compare it to other regions if you've never been there.
Right.
So when I became the senior national and VP, I would go into other markets, and I could see how the regionals in Chicago went on GCI's record day, or KKDA in Dallas. So I could see how they went.
Mm-hmm.
So Mid-Atlantic, man, is number one, man. We had a special group of people, man, that really gel with one another. We all got along.
Yeah.
I remember one was so funny, man, with Bo Sampson, man, my man.
Oh, he's gonna be on the show.
Kiss.
He's gonna be on the show. He'll be on the show.
Oh yeah, man, and Pat Spencer.
Yes.
Yo,
Talked about Patrick last week too.
Yeah, so we're in Kiss. Oh, another story about Kiss too. And so you sign a sheet and whatever, and you wait. So I don't know what happened. Bo had left, and then it was Pat's turn, but they already called Bo's name, and then Bo said, "Hey, I was here," and Pat's like, "Nah, man, it's barbershop rules, dog. You leave, you lose your spot." Yo, we thought it was about to go down in that camp, man, and Kiss the studio. But another thing was with Skip. Oh God, his name.
Dillard?
No.
Cheatham?
Skip. No, Skip was a GM of Kiss.
I don't know.
It might have been before me.
Yeah.
So we had LL Cool J promo tour, and at that time, Kiss really wasn't playing rap, but PGC was.
Oh.
Right.
So when it came time to do a promo tour, of course, you know the rules. You bring the artist where it's being played.
Yeah.
So we bring LL to PGC first. But PGC, they do the whole bells and whistles.
Right.
So then we come to, it's going to come, it almost came to me.
Skip
So
Finley.
we came to
Skip Finley, Wanda said.
Finley, there you go.
Yeah, Wanda hooked us up.
So Skip comes out of his office mad as I don't know what. Like, yo, and he comes, he charges at me. Like, yo, how the hell you bring LL Cool J to over there when we the black station in town? And Wes came up behind me like, yo, Skip. Like, yo, back up, man. Like, yo, what do you mean? So, this was in the hallway.
Now Wes is what, 6'5"?
Nah, Wes is tall. Wes about 6'7", 6'7",
6'7".
250. Yeah, Wes is a big dude.
Yeah,
man.
Wes a big dude now. For the folks that we
go
talking
back
about
in the
Wes,
office
he's a
and,
big dude.
Yeah, Wes had to tell him, like, yo, Skip, yeah, you the black station, but you ain't playing my record, dog.
Right.
Like, I got to go when my record's played. So I'm supposed to bring him here first and then lose my spins at PGC, and then you're still not playing the record? See, that's part of the politics too.
Right.
That's a very fine line.
Yeah.
With that, but that was probably one of the crazier moments when Skip just wilded out on us. And
I got to share something with you, and I don't think you and I ever talked about it. It was time since we're talking about LL, and it was a time where you brought him by to see me. There's the picture there.
Man, I had hair,
right? And I think I played L was there for about an hour, right? And I remember this, and I always kind of felt bad about it. So I played all of the familiar songs, and I think it was the 10 album that was out at the time. I got an autograph right here above my head, right? And I wanted whatever the single was at the time, I wanted to play it, right? But we were not playing it, right? And it was like at the top of the hour. So I went ahead and played the song when I was not supposed to play it. And then they called me and told me, take the song off. And I had to fade the song in the middle of it. And LL's reaction to it was like, yo, you going
who was the program director?
I don't even remember at the time. I don't know, but I played. I don't know. I don't remember who I got the call from, because at that time it was, Damon was there. You had Huckabee, Hegwood. I don't remember what, but it was like I played the song and they were like, "Yo, take the song off." I'm like, "Yo, I'm standing right here. LO's right here. You want to make me fade this song down with him standing right here in front of me?"
Yo, but yeah. What it shows, Lorenzo, man, it shows you how misunderstood hip hop was.
Yeah,
and how disconnected corporate America at that time was to what was happening. So
you don't remember that, Thomas? You don't remember that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's one of those other moments, man, where you're looking around like, okay, you looking at me, I'm like, hey, bro, that's on them.
Right.
But you got to do something. I just can't stand it. So you got to make a halfway scene to kind of act like you're doing something.
Yeah. He left immediately after that. He was out. Oh, he was out. Yo, and I think I may
you got to sit down and explain to him in the car, like, hey, man,
right.
L, we out here to try to get your records exposed, man. I mean, look at it as at least he played some of it.
Yeah, and I was breaking the rules. You know what I mean? So I kind of broke the rules to get it on, because whatever song it was from that album, and I thought it was dope, and I wanted to get it on. But they were like, "Nah, take it off." I was like, sheesh.
Yeah, well, boy, that's the record doing it. Ooh,
doing it, baby. Remember this? Remember this?
Yeah, man. We were sitting there when we first heard that record, and we were like, yo, L, man.
I represent Queens. She was raised out in
you do know this record's gonna be kind of hard to get on radio, right?
Wasn't that hard?
Oh, you say that, man? It's a dope record. Yeah, but remember, man, that record was mainly a mix show record, man.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a few stations that put it in rotation, but
hey, hello.
Yeah, for the most part, man.
Do you remember when it came out? What year was it when it came out? You remember?
Gotta be about 90.
I would say 98, maybe 7.
About 96, 97, easily.
I gotta go. I gotta go to Discogs and find out.
Oh well, we played it. If it came out that, we played it at Kiss. We definitely played it at Kiss. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, this was at the station.
Is that Mike Street?
That's Mike Street on the corner. Yeah, that's Street. That's Street. We're gonna have him. We had him on our other podcast. Lorenzo and I do a fantasy football podcast, and he's in the league. So
okay.
Yeah. So if you guys are checking us out right now, we've got former Senior Vice President Thomas Lytle of Def Jam Records. Feel free to hit us up in the chat lines. If you got any questions, you want to shout out, anything of that nature, hit us up. And if you're on Facebook, do us a favor, hit the like button. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscription button as well as the notification button, as we will continue to add more content on a weekly basis. So, Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Your resume in terms of the people that you planted and they became oak trees consists of at least 3 billionaires. Number one, the guy right here.
Oh, Kanye.
Kanye.
Man, let me tell you
Talk about
something.
Kanye.
That dude took more abuse, man, from artists and executives at the label because he was trying to tell him, man, like, yo, I can rap. And they're looking at him like, nah, dog, you can't rap. Just produce records and shut the hell up.
Wow.
They used to joan him all the time. But the one person, man, that saw the talent in him, man, believe it or not, was Dame Dash.
Dame Dash.
Dame Dash, man. You know, and say what you want about Dame. Like, yo, man, he was an integral part. He crazy as I don't know what. Yeah, oh, man, Dame, yo. That dude, first of all, if he starts snapping on you, forget about it.
You're in trouble.
You lost.
Yeah.
You just might as well just take it and laugh. Hopefully he'll get off you and on somebody else.
Right.
Because he will go in. So crazy story, man. We in a conference room at Def Jam, and he just signed like a little, I won't say little, that's kind of a hate word, but he signed a deal with Pro Kids.
Okay.
So he had a sneaker that had a scent of different scents. This one had a scent of chocolate. And he's like, yeah, man, you know, people want the sneaker. They post the sneakers, man, smell good, and the aroma, you know, the heat from their feet kind of bring it up, and aroma. He goes, here, let me show you. He takes off his sneaker and passes it around the conference table. Now, my two Caucasian brothers and sisters, when they pass it to them, you know, they're like, okay. You know, pass it to the next one. All right. Who was the third person? It was a brother. He passed it to him. He's like, nah, I'm just gonna say it. Like, yo, he was like, yo, you're not gonna say, nah, does it smell like it does? Okay, we use them. That's how crazy he was. And the other one that you see on YouTube all the time, when he wilded out, that we held a meeting about Jay without any representation from Rockefeller being there. So he already knew he was going to wild out because he had somebody actually come in and videotape the wild out session. And you see the back of my head and Benny's head because we were on that side of the table. But that was crazy too. So many crazy. It's just like sometimes, man, it seems like a blur because there's so much going on. You know, at the same time, you know, it's just a lot. But I still say, man, Kanye's a genius. A lot of times in people's genius, they do things that so-called sane people don't understand. But I will say this. The one thing they cannot take from Kanye, he may not be a billionaire, but trust me, that publishing can't touch it.
All right.
You know, them royalties can't touch it. Trust me. He ain't living like a roach.
Right.
I'll just leave it at that. So Kanye's
Pete
okay. I like
says,
Kanye
yo,
West,
3
man,
legends
regardless.
in the building. Shout out to Pete. So okay, that's 1 billionaire down, 2 more to go.
Yeah.
Jay-Z.
You know what, man? I never even saw that picture before.
Really, Thomas?
Yeah, I never.
I didn't send it to you.
Nope.
You working on your dreads at the time, Lo?
Yeah. I was working on my dreads, the twist at the time. You name it. If there's a hairstyle that's been out there, I have worn it one time or another. But
now, let me show you how. Okay, go ahead, Joe.
No, you go ahead. I'd like to hear. Go ahead, Thomas. Go ahead.
No, I was saying because politics is so crazy, I do not have one Jay-Z plaque.
Wow.
Hey, man.
Wow.
It is what it is. That's okay.
Wow.
Hey, man. Yeah, like I said, some you know, you win some, lose some.
Well, I mean, you were responsible. That's really unfortunate because this day was a Jay-Z takeover. We played nothing but Rockefeller Jay-Z music for about 2 hours. Wow. He hung out in the studio. We had a DJ on there. I got the interview on cassette. It's 2 hours of him just hanging out. Memphis Bleak was there. Emil was there. Beanie Siegel was there. And we just
Freeway, probably.
Yep. It hung out for like 2 hours. They took over the airwaves. You know, just think back that I had the opportunity to be with him for that long in the studio. And he hung out. And then this was around the time where I think the beef with Nas was going on, and Ether just came out.
Okay.
And my Big Zoe, you remember Big Zoe? Right?
Yeah.
Took Jay-Z over to hear Nas's answer. And that was the first time that Jay had heard it on the other side of the studio. Nas's response. And he said, okay. And then that's when he came back with the other disc that was kind of like risque with the baby. The baby in the car seat and stuff like that. Yeah. That people were like, nah, you lost. But he heard it for the first time that day in the studio.
Yeah, man.
You
step out there like that. I think that's one. Everybody catches an L. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
But obviously, I guess the last laugh is with him because now he's, probably flying overhead right now in a G5 somewhere.
G5 or better.
Yeah, man. But Jay has always been focused, man.
And I remember Jay was always cool.
But that's one artist, man, that had a game plan, stuck with his game plan. He knew exactly what he wanted, and he got what he wanted. I mean, basically, he just did. He's the type of artist where if you had a 7:30 lobby call in the morning, you better be downstairs at 7 o'clock, because it could be a possibility that he'll come down at 7:15. And if you ain't downstairs, that's a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you know what was funny was that, I mean, with the video show that I did, Video Connection, that, brother was humble enough to come by the studio, which was a makeshift garage turned to a studio. He did the show twice there. And I don't even know if Thomas remember. Kevin may have been going on the road with him at that point. But Jay and Dame, Dame snapped just like you said he does. He was like, where we going? He was snapping on us. But, the cool thing about it, Jay did the show twice. And I remember it was what was the tour when it was DMX, Reddit, Meth, Jay-Z. They did it at the Hampton Coliseum. And they were doing
that was Hard Knock Life.
That was the Hard Knock Life. And I remember going backstage with you. And I remember they were doing a meet and greet. And he looked over. He was like, yo, E, what's up? I was like, what's up, Jay? And he had a bunch of folks. He said, man, come give me a pound. And the crazy thing about it, because, at that point, he was real big at that point.
Yeah, so man. This is
one of always cool, man. Oh, you got the
wow.
You got the all access pass.
Wow.
These tour of tours right here, man. And look, like I said, I still had hair.
Are we pulling out memorabilia? Are we going to do that?
Oh, man.
Are we going to do that? Hold on.
I got to go get something now. Hold on. I got to get something.
Hey, Thomas Lytle, for the folks out there checking us out, Lorenzo and I both got plaques all over the place. And my very first plaque, Rush Associated Labels. Yeah, Tom, you got me this one. This one with Terminator X, Nikki D, Third Base, Public Enemy, LL, EPMD, Rush Associated Labels. My very first plaque.
Yes.
I split off the wall.
Yep.
My very first, my brother.
We have not talked thank you. And we have not talked about PE at all, but my very first shout out on the 12-inch is on here. Welcome to the Terror Dome.
Oh, that's
it says peace to the 1990s rap control DJs, right? So you remember this? The DVD, or not the DVD, it was the VHS tape, had those. And then some of these names, the shout outs, Red Alert, Chuck Chill Out, JoJo Davis, Lady B, Marley Marr. Let's just say, let's see here. We got Jackie Paul, Dangerous Dave, Conan, I got a shout out on here. El Bravador,
Brad.
Yes, Brad. Ed Lover, Fat Five Freddy, Awesome 2, and of course yours truly, Lorenzo Ice-T Thomas. First shout out is on here, and I have to say thank you because you had to between you and Bobito, you had to let them know who was supporting Def Jam,
records, yeah.
right, and who was playing the records, because I had the Powerhouse Party at that time where I was able to play, and we talked about this last week. I had freedom 4 hours to play whatever I wanted to play, and of course, you know how difficult it was to get PE on the radio. You know what I'm saying? So I this is my first shout out. I still have the 12-inch. I hold on to it, the plaque right there. And I thank you for that. You and Bobito and West Party Johnson, of course, Russell Simmons are responsible for, just remembering those that helped you out. So I don't even think I ever, as much as we do talk, I don't think I ever even shared that with you. So this gives me an opportunity to say thank you.
Yeah, man, no doubt. It was all in a day's work, man.
The day's work. Man, 21 years, man.
21 years, man. No regrets. Really, no regrets.
50 years of hip hop.
Yeah, that's what we're celebrating.
We're celebrating 50 years of hip hop on the stage. I haven't seen it, the Grammy Awards, but you had L was yours, Public Enemy was yours. Who else was Def Jam on there? Any other? Nobody else?
Method Man.
Method Man.
Method Man, that's right. Yeah,
Method Man was on there too.
So I mean, how do you feel when you see all of that?
Yeah, it's hard to fit in all the hip hop artists that were a part of it in 15 minutes. Because it's not just Def Jam.
Right.
Yeah, it's Meth, Sticky Fingers right there.
Meth and Sticky Fingers Harmonics.
Yeah.
I mean, just the number of artists that you work with. Now we talked about, of course, Ye. We talked about Jay, and another billionaire, Riri. How was it working with Riri?
She was a sweetheart, man, a real sweetheart. When she walked in, came to the building, we were in an executive meeting. L.A. Reid, Jay-Z, and Jay Brown. Said, I want to introduce you to our new artist. I think she was like maybe 17 at the time. about 17. Her name is Rihanna, from Barbados. So, okay, cool. Man, when she walked into that room, dog, I mean, you talk about glam, jaws dropped like, and a lot of times, when you see artists like that, it's almost like the audio too. It's like, stop scheming and looking hard.
Got a great big bodyguard.
So step up if you want to get hurt. Man, I mean, absolutely stunning. Like, wow. And we went on a promo tour in the Mid-Atlantic. For some reason, she liked me. I mean, not like just like me, an older guy, kind of like an uncle figure, whatever have you.
Right.
And she really, really gravitated toward me. And during the BET Awards, she like, yo, Thomas, come here, let me take a picture with you. And you got to be real careful with female artists. You got to be really careful.
Right.
So she. I took the picture, but she threw her arms around my neck, and I was like, "Oh shit!" So I cheesed like a mother. Excuse my friend. I cheesed like a mother, and so I took the picture. And later on that day, Kevin came behind me like, "Yo, what's up with you and Rihanna?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like I saw, she was, had her arms around your neck. I was like, "Kev, she's an artist. What do you want me to do?" Like you saw where my hands were, man.
Right.
So you got to be cognizant of somebody's always watching.
Yeah.
Always. And the
shout
second
out
time,
to Vito, man.
Vito.
What up, bro?
What's up, Vito?
Yeah, that's Khaled. That's
Khaled. My man.
Hey, Vito, we want you on the show, player.
That's right.
Yeah, man. On the show, man. Another Mid-Atlantic rep, man. Mid-Atlantic was special, man. I'm telling you.
It was popping.
I'm telling you, man. It was a good look. So I gotta, you gotta be really
with golf clubs.
Huh?
His profile picture with golf clubs. So I know not to mess with him on the back nine. So.
Oh, So yo, I'll tell you this story with Rihanna. So came to New York. This is way after, like later on, and met this young lady in Harlem. She was kind of a like one that's like to always be in the limelight, you know. But she's cute though, you know. So you kind of hang out, you know, whatever. So we're sitting in the restaurant. She goes, "Hey, there's a fight at 4040. I can get us in." I'm like, "Oh, you can?" She said, "Yeah, come on, let's go." So you know, she's all right. Come on, let's go. So we go 4040, and we get to the front door. There's a line on the side because people are trying to get in and see the fight. So she walks up to the front. So if you remember, there were two managers that were twin brothers. Shelbert and I think it was Shelbert and Sheldon were their names. Okay. And I mean, they were identical twins. You could never tell them apart. But one of them cut their dreads off, so now you can tell which one had dreads, which one didn't. But anyway, so she's looking, trying to get his attention, you know, and he kind of sees out the side of his eye, but he ain't paying no mind. So I said, "Hold on 1 second." I said, "Yo, Sheldon." So he looks up, goes, "Oh shit, Lytle. What's good?" Well, "Hey man, you know, I'm here for the weekend, you know." I said, "Oh, is she with you?" I look at her like, see, you got to deal with those type of people too in the business. I think they, you know, got juice, but they don't.
Right.
I said, "Hey man," so come on up. So he moves the rope. We walk into 4040, go to the cashier. "Hey, they're on me. I got them." Boom. So we're in. So I'll skip that part of the story. I get to Rihanna's story. So Rihanna comes in. She has a private room in the back, celebrating whatever, during the fight. So we didn't know. So we're standing. If you 4040 has this long staircase going to the second floor, where if you're on the top, you can look down onto 4040.
Right.
So she looks down and says, "Oh, that's Rihanna." I look down and says, "Oh, okay." You know. So do you know Rihanna? I said, "Yeah, kind of, sort of." But at this point, I haven't seen her like maybe like 10 years. Because, you know, once the pop department gets them,
right,
it's over. It's over. It's over. Man, hold on. Explain that. The pop department.
Well, yeah.
Look, everybody out here, everybody that watches is not in the music industry, but explain how.
Yeah.
Because I think about Dave Chappelle when we lose, when we get too popular, they take us.
Oh yeah, no
Dave
doubt.
Chappelle skit.
It's so true in the music industry because the vast majority of the money is with the top 40 or pop department.
Right.
So when you have an artist that they feel can break into a wider or break into the mainstream, which is a kind of a code word for white people.
There you go.
You know, they take them. So they took Rihanna, you know, brought him up. So hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, brothers. We got her now. You know, so it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So
like they take everything else.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I know her. Just you think I can get a picture with her? I'm like, no. We're in 4040. They don't do that here. That's why artists come and can come, chill, have a good time, and not worry about people asking for autographs or taking pictures. Don't do that. So, you know, she gave me that look like, I'm like, okay, whatever. You don't really know. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. So Shelba's walking her up the stairs, right? So as she goes, she has an entourage of maybe 15 people. Right. So I go, "Hey, Riri." She looks up and who the hell's calling me Riri? She sees me. She goes, "Oh my God. Oh my God." And she jumps me, right? Gets me a hug. And that beige, "Where have you been? I've been looking for you." And her entourage is like, "Yo, who's this Negro?" But Shelba knows, so he's cool. He know. Right. And she's looking, oh shit, he does know her. So typical fan groupie. "Hey, Riri, can I take a picture with you?" Yo, man, you talk about the look of death. She looked at her like, and then I look at her like, "Are you crazy?" So that cut the conversation real quick. She goes, "Look, going to the back, I got my entourage. I'll send my manager out to get your number. Great to see you." Gave me another hug and left. You know, went to the back. Yo, this is the first time I ever sunned a female in my life. I said, "I told you. I told you not to ask, and you still had to ask. Now you basically effed up our invite to go to the back.
Right.
Like, yo, she don't want you back there taking that. Yo,
Yeah.
what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
If anyone was getting a picture with her, it damn sure wasn't going to be you.
Shout out to Pete Steaks for the super sticker, man. We appreciate it. Supporting the channel, man. We really do. Thank you.
Yo, man, I left her right at the club, man. I walked out.
You said you sunder.
Oh, yeah, I walked out, man.
Look, man, you say Rihanna was, high flying and high fashion. I mean, but does she stack up to this one?
Oh,
MariahCarey. Look at you and Neo. Look, both of y'all look like y'all about to lose it.
This picture, we just signed Neo, not even 3 days for this private
he was
dinner.
happy. Oh, he was happy.
Oh, yeah. Now, Mariah is the sweetest, another sweetheart. Always loved working with her.
Right.
At this point in my career, with artists like her and Lionel Richie, especially those two, and Jay, when they went on promo tour, of course, they all flew private.
They did
so
promo
when they flew private,
They did promo tours?
Yeah.
Okay.
They did promo. No, but there's a special type of promo. You do top 10 cities. You ain't doing.
I'm sorry, my bad. Y'all won't come in to see me.
Yeah, weren't seeing us.
They won't come in to see us.
No, it wasn't. Wasn't coming to see me. Not in Richmond or Norfolk or smaller cities.
Whatever.
Not even DC. I don't think she came by in DC.
No, she can't. No, Mariah came to DC. Mariah came to DC.
Oh, man, you probably went to see someone else, outside of
myself.
No.
We took her by kiss because when we had that single "We Belong Together," we did that. We did the whole New York. We actually started in Boston. We did Boston, New York, Philly. Stopped in Baltimore real quick, DC, and then I think we hopped to Atlanta to see Reggie Rouse. Anyway,
that's my dude.
And they would stock the plane, man. I mean, champagne,
right?
Whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
That was the part of the tours where I got a chance to really live the lifestyle of the rich and famous because they stayed at the Ritz-Carlton, Four Seasons. If they stayed there.
You stayed there.
Absolutely.
Hey, Tom, okay, all the room service. Don't even worry about it. Okay. Just went around and be the chaperone.
Right.
But Mariah was definitely a sweetheart. And so was Lionel Richie, man. That dude, I say arguably, he's the biggest pop star on the planet that you don't see.
Right.
I think he has twice as many Grammys as Beyonce has. He's got to have at least 67. He got to. Because he has a trophy room in his mansion, which every single brick in his mansion has been imported from Italy. That's kind of stupid money he got.
No wonder he left the Commodores. Hello.
Oh, man. man.
He's dancing on the brick ceiling for real.
Dancing on that's when they went pop and they took him away from us.
That's right.
Yeah, man. He did a 60 Minutes of a special on him.
Right.
It was during the Palestinian-Israeli uprising.
Okay.
And when the reporters asked, "What is the common denominator, music-wise, between both sides?" It was Lionel Richie.
Wow.
And they had Palestinians who could not speak a word of English would sing a Lionel Richie song in English. Like, that's how big he was. Lionel Richie was like nobody can, that I've been with, let me qualify that, can touch Lionel Richie. When we were on promo tour, again, we're flying, man. That's flying private. Man, to go back to a commercial airline is just crazy. He like, "Hey, Tom, here's my passport. Let me, check out where I've been." I'm thumbing through his passport. I'm like, "Lionel, this passport is must be new. Stamps in it." He goes, "Yeah, I know." And I'm like, "What?" And then it dawned on me, like, "Yo, man, you don't go through customs?" He goes, "Nah." Anytime the country knows I'm coming through, the Queen, the President, Prime Minister calls it, don't worry, we'll pick him up. Go meet the Queen, whatever. Yo, crazy, man. Some of these artists, man, are really living the life.
Right.
You know, but what I want people to understand too is, like, no one, or very, very, very few, man, started. You think when you see, like, yo, how he or she gets started, I ain't seen them. Trust me, they've been grinding long before they were on the radar.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some of the things that they've done in their life, some they may regret, but you know, started from the bottom. Now we here, man. And that's why I like one of my greatest pleasures working at Def Jam was meeting all of these artists for 21 years that started from the bottom.
Yeah.
And the few that made it was great. There were a lot of artists, man, that had a lot of potential at Def Jam that just never made it too. Trigger the Gambler. He was one of the rap artists. What's my man that did the Dirty 30? The Crew. I can't think of my man. That's what I'm saying now is the Downtown Science.
The Afros.
Yeah, the Afros. You know. Before he had
Third Base.
You know,
and we ain't even talking about Def Comedy Jam, like you know, all that.
Look, we got to bring you back, man, because
you got.
We ain't talk about Rick Ross, we ain't talk about DMX, we didn't talk about Foxy Brown. There's a lot of folks we didn't talk about.
We really ain't talk about PE.
We didn't talk about PE. I mean, we got to bring you back. We're about an hour in.
We didn't talk about Montel Jordan,
and this is how we do it.
Yeah.
Hey, would you come? Look.
Did you scan that one, E?
Didn't get it. We couldn't.
Okay.
Not enough room. But we can.
Okay.
Hey, can we ask you to come back another time, my brother?
Yeah, man. I'll be glad to come back, man.
All right, but before we leave,
let me show you my favorite plaque.
Okay.
This is my most cherished plaque right here.
Was that the first one?
Yes.
Fear of a Black Planet.
Fear of a Black Planet.
Look at the name on the plaque. Can you see that?
Does it say DJ Ebony?
Ebony / Wowie.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's how I started my career, man, as a DJ, man. And now I'm thank God that Lorenzo found a space for me on 100 Hip Hop and R&B.FM.
What are you talking about? That there, right here?
That's right. That's
perfect timing, man. Perfect timing.
So who?
And I'm a house
tell everybody out where they can find us.
Yeah, man. Every Friday night from midnight to 4 a.m. I posted mixes on mixcloud.com/DJ-Ebony for those who can't listen at midnight. I really feel that all house music is today basically one genre of it, soulful house. It's just R&B set to dance music. And you have true vocalists, man, that can really sing, no auto-tune, none of that crap, that can really, really blow, man. And with the harmonies and melodies and the creative producers out here, it's awesome. Also, look for me at the 1911 party for the CIAA, February 25th. Me and another fraternity brother of mine, I'm a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Another a friend of mine, DJ Damon D, who I gave his first mix show job when I was program director at K94. We're doing the 1911 party for the CIAA, so I'm looking forward to that. You know, guys, it's amazing how, you know, your true comrades stick together.
That's right.
Both of these guys, I mean, if you put the years combined, it's well over 75 years of knowing both of them.
You're right.
Yeah, he had to combine them, right?
Yeah. He combined those, y'all.
Yeah,
we ain't straight 75.
Yeah, my first memory, and I've mentioned this, Thomas, before, was when I was at Virginia State before I got into radio. I remember my room was in the student village, E. Right. I had a room and a radio. So you know that where the student village was on the university, on the campus of University of Virginia State. Right. So I would have my radio and would stick it up on the top of the closet. and I would take the antenna and stretch it out and try to stretch it in the direction of Norfolk. And on certain Friday and Saturday nights, I could pick up Wowie from Petersburg. And that's when I first heard DJ Ebony on the radio on Wowie. And I don't know if I've told you the story before, right, Thomas? I mentioned this to you.
Man.
Yeah,
and
man.
You know what,
that,
though?
Yeah.
What's funny, Lorenzo? Skip Dillard, man.
Skip, yes.
He tells the same story. He was the UNC Greensboro. He tells the same story. And sometimes, man, I look back and I'll end it with this, guys. You said I should write a book. Sometimes I think I should, man. Yo, my story is such a storybook, man. And my radio career, man, was really, really incredible.
I used to listen to you because I'm from Newport News, so I listened to you every Friday night. When I met you, you told me you were DJ Ebony. I was like, "That's DJ Ebony."
Yo, and I meet so many people that say that, man. And for me, man, I'm just a humble dude, man. You just never know how many people you really affected, over your life, man. And to hear stories like that, man, that come out of the blue, man, it really just shows me, man, that I left an imprint, a good imprint on people. And
you sure have.
Sometimes I think that's why I've never risen above the level of vice president at Def Jam, because there's certain things, man, that I just would not do.
Right.
And I'll never get into the detail of that. That's just me and my thing, man. But for those that have aspirations to do this business, just understand that it's tough, and you got to make some tough decisions. And a lot of times, man, your whole manhood and everything's gonna be put to the test, and what you stand for as a man. And do you want to sacrifice that, for the money and for the fame? I'm not saying everybody has to go through that, so don't, but everybody has their own journey. And for me and my journey, again, man, to be at the quintessential hip hop label, basically from the beginning, since 1984. Now remember, Def Jam was founded in 1984. I got my mix show in 1985 in January from Tony Gray. And Bobito used to call me to play all those records, man. So I was involved in Def Jam before I even worked at Def Jam.
So wait a minute, Bobito was there before you got there?
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that. Bobito and I grew up together. We both grew up on 97th Street, Amsterdam, Columbus, and right across the street from
Bobito was there before. Bobito was the mix show coordinator.
Yeah, that's why I communicated with him, and it was great for us because we grew up together. When I'm talking about grew up, I lived on the 12th floor. He lived on the 13th floor. I would go up to his house and hang out. We'd listen to albums, and and he just did a post the other week that I introduced him to Trans Europe Express. So we were like exchanging music experiences at a young age. And then for us both to be working at the industry at the same time was just great. But I didn't know he was there before you.
Oh, yeah. Part of that original crew, man. So it's just an amazing journey. And it's not over. I still got some love for Def Jam, although it's not nowhere near what it used to be. But I was blessed to be the last man standing.
Right. You were the last man standing.
Yep. And I was the last person at Def Jam hired by Russell Simmons.
Yeah.
So when they laid me off, that just closed that Russell Simmons chapter at Def Jam, man. So,
right.
Hey, man, I love music. I love hip hop. It was so funny. After the baby, anybody that went on after the baby at the Grammy
Awards, you didn't know who they were?
Hell they were.
Oh, man.
You and I both. Well, Thomas Lytle, we gotta
give him a round of applause. And we gotta bring you back there because you still got 21 years. We can do it in an hour. Plus, you still got superstars that we still need to talk about and what went on and all that other good stuff.
Yeah, well, some of those stories, man, I'll probably be buried with them, man.
Hey, man, we gonna do that. I gotta give a shout out to my family because I'm gonna get cussed out. My cousin Madeline Van Zandt. Thank you, Madeline. I truly appreciate it, representing the Detroit. So, Tom, how can they find you, brother?
You can find me on Instagram, Friday Night House Party. It's all one word. You can also find me on Facebook, DJ Ebony. EBONY. That's an acronym for the Easy Brother of New York. I've had that name since high school, 1976, when I used to sneak into Studio 54 specifically to watch the DJ spin records. I didn't want to drink. I didn't want to chase no females. I wanted to see how the DJs work. That's why I do what I do.
Did you ever go to Bonds International and Harlem
yeah.
World and Broadway International?
There's so many clubs in New York at that time, man.
Yes.
There's so many.
Silver Shadows.
Oh yeah, Silver Shadow, Bentleys, all that. And I got all this music. And you know what though? There's a website called Discogs where you can actually log all of your records. I got a 12-inch of this record called Atmosphere. That 12-inch is selling for $60. I don't know if the people will buy it for $60.
It's selling, right?
It'll sell.
But there's record collectors all over the world, man, that want that 70s, 80s dance music that you can't even find because it's out of print.
Right.
And if you got a good copy, man, that's not fingerprinted up or got Q burn on it, you can make some money. So with that being said, I can talk all night about this business, man. Thank you for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
We're going to bring you back. Lo, how can they find you?
Man, you can find me each and every weekday, Monday through Friday, from 3 to 7 p.m. on Star 94.5, Orlando's only R&B, and on Saturday night, 6 to 10 on the Hot 105. And and of course, I'm going to be coming to the CIAA. Thomas, I'm going to be there. I'm coming for sure.
Yeah, come to the 1911 party. We got the VIP third floor, man. So we're gonna be rocking some old school. Now I can play my music. You know what I mean, without worrying about playing some trap music and all this other nonsense.
We too old for that. We too old for that.
Yeah,
Eric, where can they find you, man?
They can find me on 100 Hip Hop and R&B FM on a Friday night with Thomas Lytle playing house music all night long as well. You can catch me every night.
And I want to tell us, I'm going to tell us the guys too, man. Check out this house music, man. I'm very selective with what I play. I'm not playing a bunch of EDM. I'm playing some good stuff along with some of the old stuff that you may remember. So come by and check me out, man. And check me out on Mixcloud too if you're not up that late. I post the mixes on Mixcloud after they air on the station. So we doing our thing.
Okay, so if you're out there on social media world, which we know you are, if you're on Facebook, make sure you hit the like button and please share this. This is good content. This has been a great show. If you're on YouTube on a rebroadcast, make sure you hit the notification button as well as the subscription button. And we're going to be back next week with a brand new show. We're gonna go down to Death Row. That's right, Death Row Records. Yeah, we got Paris coming in next week.
Yo, Paris, what up, dog?
Yeah, and you can catch me at Convo with the DJ on all social media, including Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and of course, Instagram. We're going to make this legal. Hold on, fellas.